Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to yet another video. Today's video, I want to go over something many BMW drivers do not do with their car, and it's very important. And that is clean and condition the leather in their vehicles. It is very important to do this. It keeps the leather nice and soft. It prevents cracking. It just allows the leather to wear very nicely. You see a lot of these cars with very bad leather, and that is because the leather was not cared for. So in today's video, I'm going to go over all the products that I use, and we're going to clean up the new seats that are going in my BMW F10. Although this video will apply to any car, it just happens to be the seats that are going into my F10. I condition my E46 seats all the time because I do have Napa leather. Whether you have Napa leather, Montana, or Merino, it's still important to condition your leather. More so with Napa and Merino, but still important if you have Dakota. So let's show you the products and then we'll get into cleaning. Starting from the least aggressive product in my go-to leather cleaner, that is the Chemical Guys odorless leather cleaner. This stuff is really good. It has a balanced pH, which is very good. Leather actually has a pH level, and you don't want to exceed it. It can be bad for the leather and wear it out more, so you definitely got to be careful about what leather cleaner you use. And another very important thing is to use some sort of horsehair brush that I use. I'll have all of these items linked down below, but this is kind of my go-to leather cleaner right here with a soft, very soft horsehair brush. Stepping up a little bit, we have the Color Lock mild leather cleaner. Now this is a mild leather cleaner. I still think it's a tad stronger than the Chemical Guys. Chemical Guys is just easy to get at the store, which is why I go with it. This stuff you can get online on Amazon or through Color Lock's website. I'll have it linked down below. Moving along, we have the Dyna Matte Clean. This stuff, I forget where I got it from. I'll try to link it down below. Oh yeah, autoleatherdye.com is where I got this stuff from. I'll have this stuff linked down below. This stuff is awesome. It is quite pricey. I think this bottle alone is $20, but this stuff is my go-to leather cleaner if a stain does not come out. It is very aggressive, but it does get stains out, so I try to stay away from this unless I absolutely need it. So this is kind of a surface prep if you're going to dye something, but I can still use it as a cleaner. You just gotta be careful because it's very strong. Moving on to what I use for my leather protector. This is very crucial. After you clean your leather, you need to protect it somehow. Now I have two different solutions from Color Lock. Leather Shield, this is to protect new leather, so if any of the leather is super new and not very worn, you're going to want to put the shield on. And you can put the protector on too, but really just the shield. And then on any other leather that's a little worn down, and the car's probably, I think, 4 or 5 years old, the leather is older than 4 or 5 years, you're going to want to use the leather protector from Color Lock. And again, very important that we do this. A couple other items that I use, I will be using a white microfiber towel today to use as a cleaner, so I can show you all the dirt. I'll show you the seats and how clean they already look because they're black, but I'm then going to show you all the dirt and stuff that I pull off using a white towel. I have cleaned them once, but I do need to clean them again. And then finally, we have another brown microfiber that I'm going to use to buff off any of the remaining conditioner or protector that goes on the leather. Again, very important that you only use microfibers for one thing. So all of my leather stuff is usually brown, just so I know that it was used for leather and nothing else. So let's take a look at the seats and then we'll get cleaning. Okay, I think we're gonna start out with the Chemical Guys leather cleaner. Like I said, it's my go-to leather cleaner. So again, these seats, I don't know if I've mentioned, are actually ventilated. So they have little perforations to allow the fans to blow. So what we're going to do is we are going to be mindful of that, but we're just going to spray some onto the horsehair brush. And all we're going to do is scrub. And you can see it's starting to foam. I don't have enough. Like I said, I am trying to be just somewhat light, but you really want to make that foam, and that agitation is really when you know that you're doing something right and that it's cleaning and lifting off any of the stuff that's embedded into the seats. We'll take a towel. One wipe right there. So these seats are clearly dirty. Even though they're black, they look dirty. And the other telltale sign that leather is dirty, if it's super, super shiny. Leather should not look oily shiny. Yes, it should have a slight shine to it, but it should not be a lot. If there's a lot, you know your leather is super, super dirty. So that is the first attempt on the bottom seat, and you can see just how dirty that is. We're gonna go again. And you can do this, like I said, a couple times. That's why I really like the Chemical Guy stuff, just because it's not aggressive. And I shouldn't say it's not aggressive, it's just the least aggressive, which I really like as a everyday leather cleaner. And you just don't want to let it sit in there too long, I should say, as well. So I do try to work pretty fast, so we'll flip it around. And no, people may say, hey, is that dye? No, this is not dye. I know for a fact that this is just how dirty the seats are. It's really nice. We're gonna hit it one more time. I think we're gonna step up using the Color Lock stuff. The Color Lock stuff just is crazy. The foam is just excellent that it does. So there's the Color Lock stuff. And if you want, Color Lock makes a whole kit. I just want to give you guys some variety on what you actually bought through me, just so you can see what is out there. And again, experiment, find what works for you. Everyone has their own products that they like to go with. For me, I like to use some things that's cost effective, but it also needs to work really well. So that's why I kind of just go to Chemical Guys, because it's cheap. But I definitely would say the Color Lock stuff is a little nicer. All right, well, with the bottom done, I'm gonna move on to the top. I'm not gonna film that, or actually, I'll throw you guys in a time lapse of going onto the top, and then I'm gonna show you guys a little trick if you have any leather creases or indentations or any stretched leather. I have a trick to get that out. Doesn't always work, but it does sometimes. So I'll show you guys that after I finish conditioning. So this is what the headrest looks like. It's not that it's stretched, or maybe it is stretched, but it's really just kind of wrinkly a little. Not even creased, but wrinkly from people going like this, because that's how the seats go, but I don't like that look. So we're gonna take some heat to it and see if that can kind of shrink it down a little bit. Again, I know it's not necessarily the best thing, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And in this case, I think we'll be fine. We're gonna condition it. It's been cleaned. It's super, super supple right now. Again, these are Napa seats, so the leather is just super, super supple. So let me go grab the steamer and I'll show you guys that, and then we'll get to conditioning. So here's my trick. We're gonna take a microfiber cloth and we're gonna take a steamer. This is a cheap one. I'll have it linked on Amazon. And you just take it and you rub it over it. It's still warming up. And again, I'd only advise doing this if you're going to be conditioning after. I don't know how much the camera's picking up. It's not perfect, but I definitely think it helped what was going on and just helped form the leather back a little more. We're gonna try it one more time. All right, now that the seat is fully dry and I'm happy with how it looks, I am going to apply some shield, and I'm only going to apply shield in certain spots. I'm going to apply the Color Lock shield to any of the high traffic area spots, so any of the bolsters that you rub up and down on. So these, and here on my other seats, they're kind of worn a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the shield, throw some on this applicator pad. Like I said, you can use a microfiber towel. I just like these applicator pads. Again, I'll have them linked down below. And we're just gonna coat it very nicely and wait for it to dry. Probably gonna coat it twice. This panel too. And we're gonna hit the outside. This side actually doesn't matter as much just because this is the side that faces in and it doesn't see as much traffic, but we're just gonna hit it as well. All right, it's now time to put the protector on the rest of the leather. Again, this protector is on the thicker side, which you'll see in a minute. I did already shake it because I did my other seat, but just throw some on here. I'm gonna start with the bolsters. Like I said, I am gonna put it on everything again. So we'll put it on the bolsters, really just to rub it in, make sure I don't get any in that hole, those holes. We kind of just want it to sit on top, but you can see it is being applied to it. And this is UV protecting, and this is what's gonna help your leather from not drying when the sun hits it. Again, I always recommend cars with really nice leather that you want to keep, either park it indoors, or I think a tint. Honestly, ceramic tint is another way to go. Or if you have some sort of sunshade for it, I think that's a huge thing that helps leather. In my case, I have a ceramic tint on my car. And if you're unsure if you need both or if you just need one, contact Color Lock. They will tell you what you need, which is really nice. And again, once the stuff does dry, it will not leave a shine like it's leaving right now. It definitely just needs to dry a little bit. Now you can't see it, but the top part of the seat is a spot that these cars or these seats really like to allow sun to hit and dries out the leather. That's it. It's applied. Just make sure it's all the way in, and I'd let it dry for a little before sitting on it. I'll come back and show you guys the final result because we're gonna let this dry. All right, so here's a final look at the seats. I definitely wanted to just show you guys the seats, show you that they're not super oily or slimy. They have a nice satin look to it, and that is how leather should look. It'll have a tad, I'd say, sheen or satin look. It will not look greasy, it will not look oily. It will look exactly how these seats look. It will feel soft, but it will also not feel slippery. This is how it should look. And like I said, these are new to me seats that are going in my car, and I wanted to make sure that they were protected and that they were cleaned as best as possible before putting them in, because it's obviously a lot easier to clean them when they're outside of the car. One thing I failed to mention, I'd like to mention now, that you should be reconditioning your leather in your car every 3 to 6 months. Now, I say condition, I don't say clean, and I just don't think you should be cleaning your leather that much, just because cleaning your leather is technically putting a little more wear and tear on it, because you're lifting up some of the dirt and grime and probably taking out some of the other natural oils that are in the leather. But definitely you need to clean it before if your car has not been cleaned. I like to clean my leather probably every 6 to 8 months, but I do condition it every 3 months, and the seats look awesome and really super happy with them. I found it would only be fitting to close up this video sitting in my new seats while I close it out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this process and realizing how simple it is to condition the leather on your car. It's definitely something you need to do if you have leather seats. Super important, super easy, not really that expensive. Will make the seats in your car, the longevity of them, last so much longer, and overall the seats will just feel nicer to sit in. And it's definitely, if you're looking into detailing, it is a very important and crucial step in detailing your BMW. So like I've mentioned, I'll have all of the products that I've used in today's video linked down below, so check them out there as they help support the channel a tad. So definitely much appreciated if you could use my links below. That is all I have for this video. I hope you guys get out there and condition the leather in your BMW, and we'll talk soon.